Hi, I'm Tira Adams.
I'm Tuesday Blue.
And this is Been There, Seen That.
Xena Season 3.
Yes.
Man, this season was insane. And past seasons have been hard for me to pay attention to all the details because of mythology, and they blend religion and history, and it's a lot. But this season, I think my mind exploded because so much was happening.
Yeah. I feel like they got a better handle on, they just threw everything out as far as making sense. As far as, this person wouldn't be here or blah, blah, blah. They just went, no, it doesn't matter. It's Xena. But it's blended together in a way it makes sense in this world. And it's used very well because, I'm just gonna segue into Dahak and that whole arc
storyline.
Yeah, because I forget. I was of two minds. Which I usually am watching this because knowing that you're gonna be watching it for the first time, and me remembering how I saw things back of okay, so Dahak, the way it's set up when they introduce him as the one god. So it's okay. Tuesday's got to be thinking this is the Israelite one because they've already introduced God in that
and
sense.
If we're going off of mythology, why isn't it Zeus or someone who is Dahak and where did he come from? Yeah, my mind is what is happening?
It just seems like this God manifested out of nowhere, and how does that happen? Which they never explain, and part of me doesn't want them to explain. But I feel like it's a very much American Gods or Neil Gaiman concept, which is if enough people start manifesting a thought, something will manifest itself. And the way it's set up, you're thinking, especially, I forgot the character's name, but that dude that's gaslighting Gabriella into a cult. He very much the way he is seems like this would be some youth pastor bringing you in, and you think maybe I was trying to put myself back and watching it for the first time, be oh yeah, this is the Israelite God. This is just a different set. This is the Britannia set. God's gotten over there, and eventually, I guess first way through, I would have been St. Patrick's definitely showing up at some point. He doesn't, not yet. I don't think.
I guess then that's hope is Jesus, but not really.
No, it's just a completely.
Hope is not good.
Yeah, she's the Antichrist.
Yeah,
they just pull the. I like that though, because they go off of what people may be thinking, because they've already introduced the God of the Israelites, and they're no, this is actually the devil, maybe.
Yeah, that was an interesting storyline because we got to see more of, I think, Gabriella's deeper processing and not just Xena, you must be good. So that was interesting, and that they both betrayed each other, or both lied to each other at different points in that story was interesting. That we're okay, Gabriella is capable of deception and for a somewhat selfish reason, even though she believes it's good. That was interesting for more of Gabriella's character development.
Yeah, and then just thinking from a deeper point, that whole storyline brings up a couple of things. Number one, being in groomed into a cult, because even at the end with her friend Seraphim, who is just completely bonkers.
Yeah, she is. She's convinced.
Yeah, she's convinced. She has met Jesus. She's had come to Jesus moment.
This person's gonna save us.
Yeah. And she's I know it's gonna have to happen, which is crazy to me because I always think. It makes me think of conversations I've had, when I was Christian and did go to church, and started questioning, particularly when we get to the Revelation or Apocalypse part, and knowing all the destruction that has to happen, people who were thoroughly integrating, being like, well, it'll be, this has to happen, but the heaven part. And I would always be that person being like, yeah, but that mid part.
Right. Which makes sense. It's like, if someone's supposed to be all powerful, why do we have to suffer in different ways if they can just be like, oh, everything's cool.
Everything's cool.
Yeah.
And it's in a time of coronavirus, it's like,
Yes, is this revolution?
Yeah. Well, it's popped in my head, definitely. And then at the same time, which has brought up discussions at work, and I was like, well, apocalypse or revelation just means something should be revealed. So if that's happening, what is the deeper revelation? But getting
that's a whole other conversation.
Blog.
Yeah, that's true.
But going back to about cults and being groomed in, because the way he's talking to her and bringing her in, and it starts out, Gabriella is kind of on that path. So, but she's just a little more strong-willed, and that betrayal of her trust by that guy. While Xena's off doing, because she's so centrally focused on getting Caesar, that it's amazing to see. It's like isolation plus grooming gets this person into
makes you more susceptible.
Yeah.
It was cool. Because it was at the end of the second season when she stabs the woman, or is it the beginning of the third season?
It's the beginning of the third season, because you have like 3 fun episodes, which are just like, it's one TV trope after another. You have like the I'm going crazy trope with the time loop, with the Dirty Dozen, or what they literally call it, Dirty Dozen.
That one, I was like, what is happening?
They're like, we gotta fill time Tuesday.
Before we get to it.
Dahak. And then that's introduced. And
that's right, I wrote episode 5. Big episode!
Yeah.
There we go.
But what I like, kind of, because a lot of these moments are like throwaway moments where you're like, okay, this is, a Dirty Dozen episode. But then at the very, very end, if you miss it, an important question that becomes like the theme of the next 2 seasons of, is Gabrielle who she is because of who Xena has made her, or is this someone she has grown into? And I think that's the central question of this season. You have a little bit of where because Xena counters and she goes, but who am I without Gabrielle? Which I feel like that's more of a second season question. But very much in this season is explored who is Gabrielle.
Yeah. I think that's good, because Gabrielle has always kind of seemed like she hasn't really been that interesting to me, to be honest, because she's been kind of like a sidekick, I guess, and this puts her in a more central role. And there are some episodes where I was like, am I going to see Xena at all? Because we're only focusing really on Gabrielle's storyline, which is cool, but I still don't like her. I don't know why.
I feel like the second time around, like, I was in that same boat first time around, particularly growing up. You don't want to be Gabrielle.
You're like,
it's like, who wants to be Gabrielle? But
I want to be a warrior.
Yeah. But going through it again, I was like, you know what? Xena's kind of a dick.
That's true.
Because, like, Gabrielle is in that situation because of Xena, her obsession with Caesar. And I like that they keep bringing that up, that Xena is making choices and decisions. Yeah. That is putting Gabrielle in this position.
Yeah, Gabrielle, what'd she say? Something like, you don't ever, like, why don't you listen to my plans or something? And then I think it was at the end of that episode where Xena was like, I'm going to make sure you get more credit. But I don't recall her actually giving more credit in the later episodes.
No.
I was like, wait.
It keeps happening. It's like always like Xena is like very firm. This is my focus. This is what needs to happen. And then she's like, I'm sorry, Gabrielle. And it's almost like
you're right. She does apologize and says like, I'm still going to do it.
And then they do it again. And it's like, this is the most toxic relationship. Yeah. It's really toxic.
You're right, actually.
Because you have that, and then, so when she becomes pregnant with Hope.
Man. Ares has been popping up everywhere in season 2.
I love him so much, though. I love him.
Like, beard situation.
Yes, it keeps changing, and I can only keep track of like the episodes of when they might have filmed it by the beard and the hair. Mm-hmm. But Kevin T. Smith, because I didn't know he has a middle name.
When I saw the credits, I was like, "Who's Kevin Smith?" Now I see you have to use the middle initial for difference. Mm-hmm.
Back then, he didn't have to do it because we didn't know what Clerks was or like anything. But now we have to put the T in there, particularly so people understand we're talking about Ares. And he, oh my God, that man is so delicious. Like, I love him so much. Great performances too, like the episode.
Yeah, he's a good war god for sure.
Yeah, and especially when they let him do whatever he wanted to do.
Oh, I didn't know he had creative choice.
I think once everyone moved into their part, Sam Raimi was going, go ahead.
Oh, okay.
Because
like it's your character.
Yeah,
so
it's your character. Go. I mean, funny. A lot of those. I feel a lot of the performances in this show are people who know what they're doing. If they know, it's like it's Xena, whatever, and like know what they're doing and can ham it up. Mm-hmm. And those who might be in for an episode, and you're like, I'm gonna read that line one more time. Like the priestess in the Forget Me Not episode, and she was trying to be very calm and ethereal, but I remember feeling like, you gonna give us another line read?
That's funny. Make it a little more in line with the show.
Yeah, just like, you want to come back?
Can't take it too seriously.
No, not at all. But he's great, and that's a great episode, Forget Me Not, where it's just him and Renee O'Connor as Ares and Gabrielle, where you find out she has a debt to him.
I was like, ooh.
Because you're like, how did she get there so fast?
I honestly didn't think that. I was just like, oh, she's there, surprise.
Yeah.
But then when they were repeating, like, that she got there so much quicker, I went, oh, okay, like, there's something here.
Yeah, I feel like, God bless them for explaining things, like, because you could take things with a grain of salt and be like, look, I don't even know how she flipped. I don't know why she flipped this.
There's a lot of times where I'm like, it's Xena, like, a lot of weird things happen, so I have suspended total belief and just accept whatever.
Yeah, and then they choose to explain it, which is like, oh, okay, like, thank God for that.
Like, that's where you're coming from,
It's like, I appreciate that, but, like, I also want to point out, like, how much it's weird, and I don't know if it's a different read now because of Me Too or years later, that especially the way Gabrielle explains getting pregnant with Hope, or the way it's done, it's very much like a rape or an assault.
I thought it was just a mew and the baby's in there.
Yeah, it was, but like when she's explaining
I'm like, did I miss something else?
No, I don't think so. But maybe, like I said, I could be reading too much into it. But at the same time, when she's explaining to Effany where Hope comes back, she's like, I got into a situation. And I remember, but this is also
I
me
heard
watching
that,
it.
and I still was like, the situation was a god that just went bloop.
Yeah. But
you could be right. There's something else.
Yeah, I think this is like a multiple viewing with like adult eyes now, that it's very much.
I'm still wearing my kid eyes. so I missed it.
The way she explains it, it was like, oh yeah, it would be that. Or the way, the aftermath of that situation, and like dealing with, it's very much like, because I deal with that a lot, like PTSD and anxiety and everything, and like that next episode, until like they do that pregnancy cravings and stuff like that.
Yeah, when I was watching that and it wasn't revealed that she was pregnant yet, I was just like, of course she's hungry, like she didn't eat all day. And then, oh, that's why they're doing that.
Yeah, it's just so weird. And then we have banshees. Oh,
that's what they're called. I was like, are they called Furies?
No, I feel like we could have done British Furies again.
I mean, they're just like people that fly around and don't wear a lot of clothes, so
like 90% just of the women in here. Yeah. It's just every time we need pagan dancing, it's just like, okay, let's get that out.
Like, we need a close-up of this. It's for like that moment where they always throw their hands up. It's wild.
Hope, how did you feel about Hope?
I couldn't tell if she actually did maybe have a glimmer of good in her, or if she was faking it the whole time. Because she knew, like, her mom wants to be good, so I don't know if she's like, I'll pretend to be good to play my mother, or, like, maybe I could actually be good because my mom strives so hard to be good.
Yeah, I feel like I took it very much as, like, that human side of her.
Okay.
And that curiosity of her mother. Yeah.
Gotcha.
I feel like no matter what, this was because she came through, like, she was pretty much a vessel. Mm-hmm. And then, like, the way she comes through is, like, that human side of her peaks up.
Okay.
And I feel like it's one of those things, I always love my mom.
Right.
and had Gabrielle been actually in this cult, she probably would have sacrificed herself and then, killed that lady. And then been impregnated and been in this cult and, like, had the baby. And had that dude, whatever he changed into, the deliverer, protector this whole time. Yeah. And she would have raised Hope. And it would have been, you know, this whole thing. But I think with Xena's interference and the fact that she had to abandon her, you now have this child growing up with abandonment issues very fast and by itself. And it brings up these issues. I feel like I was more on Gabrielle's side this time around, knowing, because before I was like, clearly this child is evil.
Yeah, that's the vote I was in. I was like, just let Xena do what she's gonna do.
Yeah. But then now this time around, you're watching and you're like, Xena is just so centrally focused. I don't know, even if I thought my child was evil, like, who could literally just kill a child? And especially if you were holding on to this being your hope, could you do it?
Right. I don't think Gabrielle could. Well, we saw at the end that she actually can, but...
Yeah. But I feel like, too, like, I feel like the central question is, like, even as a baby, Hope seemed to be aware of, or was defending herself, or doing so. So I feel like Gabrielle's motivations, because she constantly talked to her, should have been clear. And I think Hope very much wanted her in that possession that, like, Gabrielle belonged to her, but not necessarily.
I see.
Necessarily.
Yeah.
Like, wanting to be good, like, she's part of her plan. Because even when she was controlling Callisto was a piece on her chessboard, nothing more or less.
That's true.
But at the same time, because she's part human, she does want that love.
Yeah, you're right, actually, because she does, like, before, I guess it's before it's revealed that Hope is pregnant with Aries' child, which is also mind-blowing, that she, like, gave her mother another chance, right? And I was like, oh, okay, like, she does sort of care, but is ultimately going to do what Dahak has, I guess, sent her to do.
Yeah. And Dahak, I like how abstract he is. It's just a flame. That when she's talking to him, Aries, and they're both there, and she goes, yes, Father, I satisfied my curiosity about my mother. It's like he knew too. Like, but I don't know, that was demon babies. Just weird.
Yeah, it was weird. But yeah, I thought that was interesting. It's also funny that the actress who plays Gabrielle / her grown daughter, that the character choice is to talk in a more, I guess, kind of like a deeper voice, monotone. I was like, that's funny. That's how I'm going to know who's who.
Yeah. It's like, well, thank you for that.
Yeah.
And the very, very rigid posture. It was like acting choices. We were giving you attention. Yeah.
Yeah, it was funny.
I think I wanted to do... Okay. Xena and Gabriella's relationship.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm really upset that episode 12 is like a really serious episode done in a really silly manner because I
bittersweet
hated that it was a musical. I felt like I was suffering unnecessarily because it was like so serious that they're dueling essentially, but they're singing the whole time, and I just was like, I hate this.
Yeah,
why did they choose to do that?
I was in that same
Oh
boat
my gosh.
once upon a time.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, as far as I know,
yeah,
I had never seen anything like that before.
It
like
was
when it
bizarre.
when it happened in 1995, it was equally bizarre. I think the whole world.
Yeah.
I remember it kind of being a big thing because
Right.
it was like intentionally a musical episode, and it was like it was going to be this, and it was like going to be an event. It was like Xena, the musical, and everyone was like.
Yeah, yeah.
But now you have
that was my
like
face watching it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, what
is happening? Did you know going in that it was a musical episode?
No, I just knew that you had told me there was going to be a musical, but I didn't know which episode it was going to be. And then it started, and I was like, what is happening?
Yeah.
Because there are episodes in here that felt like throwaway episodes to me that I would have put as like, one of those can be the musical. Not something that's like, really serious, intense moments.
Yeah. I was doing research on it, and according to like the creator who wrote it, I unfortunately didn't write down his name, but like they had planned that arc for Xena and Gabriella's relationship.
And I like, that one will be the musical.
Yeah, I think they have been playing around with it, and the fact that Lucy Lawless is also a singer, and so like. And then also Sam Raimi's input. So they were like, as serious and as stupid as we can get,
oh my gosh,
let's also do a musical episode. And they plus, threw it around for 3 seasons, 2 seasons, and then decided in the 3rd episode where they got essentially stuck on how to bring these two together without having them apart for long periods of time, and decided this was going to be just a Deus Ex Machina to put them together. We're gonna send them to the magical land of Oz, and then
where when they talk evil, it echoes in their ears really loud. Yeah,
that whole journey. Like I didn't know until I was doing research on it. Like you said, all of these like really important, serious things are going on. Yeah, and then it's also this weird. It's an illusion. It's this weird dreamland that is also happening, and I didn't know like the whole time that it was like based on the tarot. Oh, there was a couple of parts that I was looking, and I was like, that image looks really familiar. I love how it works on that kind of dreamscape form, like Callisto. When Xena lands, wakes up and Callisto is there in that outfit. That's the full tarot card. Oh, that whole outfit, even down to the little dog. Okay. And once I read that, I went back over the whole episode. I was like, oh my god. Okay. Yeah, she's wearing the high priestess outfit, and this is this, and this is this. Like I had so much fun. Yeah. Because
is that. Like demon with a trumpet face or something in the tarot?
It would be there.
Because when it came out, I was like, "What? Yeah. Why are they doing this?"
Yeah, why are they? I love that episode. Those songs are so.
I was just like, I felt like I was suffering.
No, I'm sorry.
So I just was like, why would they do this?
I think it took me the first time I saw that episode, I remember seeing it, and I don't think I sat all the way through.
It was hard.
And then, this is how Xena used to be. It was, since it was syndicated, it would come on once, and then the next week, it would repeat, like, early in the day, and then you would see the new episode at night. So it was the second time around, and I had nothing to do that I watched this episode, and then those songs are really, really catchy.
They really felt like real musical songs. Like,
yeah. They brought in people from Broadway to do that whole thing. So they have weeks of rehearsal and everything. They really went in.
I was like, this is insane.
Yeah. But
if I saw it maybe in a Broadway atmosphere, maybe I would have enjoyed it a lot more.
Because it's expected.
Yeah. But since I was like at home watching it on TV, I was like, why?
But, yeah, I feel like it was a great way though, because don't you wish in real life, like if you have a problem, like you're forced to deal with it in this weird abstract way.
And I can sing it out.
Yeah, you can just sing it out. And like you can sing because of reasons. And,
yeah. That would also be nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like you said, the echo chamber, because that's real in real life, and you usually need like some therapist or whatever to get you to it.
To be like, oh, these are harmful things to say.
Yeah, and even like, it's weird because like, I kind of dig and hate the songs where they're, I think it's something, The Power of Love. It's some love song where they're singing, I love and hate that song. I like that it brings them together. I also hate that particular song because it seems melodramatic as fuck.
Yeah. The other thing with that I thought was interesting is like the way the episodes were released. So they have like this really dramatic musical where Gabriella and Xena are like clashing and trying to sort out their turmoil, and then the next episode is like completely unrelated in a way, and I don't think we really talked like that. We came back to their mistrust a few episodes later.
Yeah,
it was like here's this arc, and we're gonna ignore it for a while, and then come back to their mistrust later.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like it's one of those things that I can only tap into as someone who works in film and knows how a writer's room works now, that makes sense or doesn't make sense. It's one of those weird things where you're like, okay, now this must be because they filmed this here and they filmed this there, or, you know, through the magic, you know, those being the times that you have 23 episodes, and so you just have filler. You know kind of where you're going, but it's not like now. It's not like tight. It's like two things that are happening like
if
right now.
If it was a 12-episode season, maybe it would be
all those. It would be
different.
A really intense kind of. I don't know if we would have a filler episode. If this was the 13 episodes, this would be a really heavy season.
That's true.
It would be like bam, 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 bam. And I feel like, but maybe it would be better written because all of that's planned out now.
Right.
Or you're coming from an IP where someone just bought it and now you have a roadmap. This is like, they would have to sit down for like a month in the summer.
There's so much.
Kind of map it out. And then they have 23 episodes and kind of film it where they can. Because I think the musical episode was kind of filmed early. They wait from break.
I wonder if that would make sense if it's going to be like the most time consuming and then film things that aren't going to take that much rehearsal.
Yeah, because then you have doppelganger episodes. You have like they bring Blake back.
The doppelganger episode this season, I was like, why? We already did this.
Like, we need an episode. Lucy Lawless, can you be...
People like that. Let's bring it back.
Yeah, Lucy Lawless, can you be 3 versions of yourself?
Yeah.
Sure. Okay. Joxer, can you be 2 versions of yourself? Oh my god. Here's another thing I forgot, and I just want to know how you felt about it.
Okay.
Like some of the plot points that were dropped, because here's the thing too, in that season, a lot of crossover happens with Hercules.
Because of the sun?
Hercules' legendary journey.
Oh, wow. Yeah. I'm not going to remember.
Okay. Oh, no. Okay.
Hercules.
Well,
I saw episodes on TV, and...
No, that's what I'm saying. I know you didn't. I mean... That's the thing.
So
like,
in
some
the
of the things
show,
in the Xena show, there are plot points that Hercules and Xena crossed over a lot that season.
Oh, okay.
So there's different plot points.
Is that why she was gone so much from this season?
No, they never. That would be
like
logical.
She's busy in some other Sci-fi.
Yeah, she's in some other time. No, they by crossover I mean like things that happen to Callisto.
Oh, okay.
Or
Interesting.
the Heinz Blood Dagger.
They were just like recycling.
Yeah.
With each show. Interesting.
So like for you, like as far as where that dagger came from, and like. Did you pick up on it, or is that something?
No, I just thought it came out of nowhere, and I just assumed Xena had it the whole time. And I was like, alright.
Or even how Callisto got into that particular prison.
Well, I also wanted to know how Callisto keeps escaping from prisons that are supposedly secure for, or not prisons, but like wherever she is that is supposed to keep gods.
Yeah.
Like, she just keeps escaping.
Yeah, and she keeps falling for the same trick, too. Like, maybe stay away from Apollo rocks.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, that was good.
Because it was, like, the end.
Because she even called it out one time where she's like, oh, you can't get me this time. And then she, like, lures her out and still gets her with rocks.
With a landslide.
Yeah.
It's like, maybe.
It's like, okay.
You just seem to be a sucker for this particular trick. This happened, like, a fifth time.
Yeah, she's like, it will only delay me, but works every time.
Yeah. I think, I can't tell with Callisto, because Callisto went back and forth between the two.
Okay.
See, that's why I was asking, because I know, or I happen
where the
to
Heinz
remember
dagger came from.
Where the Heinz dagger came from, why Callisto was in that prison and not the other one before. And
that's funny.
Yeah, and I was like, is Tuesday? That's always something
I
in my
just
mind.
suspend so much belief for this show that I'm just like, okay, now there's a dagger that can kill gods.
Yeah. Well, the Heinz Blood Dagger comes from, like, the Golden Hind. Okay. And that's a whole backstory. Well, Ares raised... They're like lady centaurs.
Interesting.
They're gold, half deer.
Of course they're gold, right?
Half ladies.
Oh.
And their blood, for whatever reason, I forgot who created them, can kill a god.
Okay.
I don't think the gods made them.
Because they wouldn't want to kill themselves.
No. I think
Except
either
Callisto.
the Titans. Yeah, I think either the Titans made them or someone else made them.
Yeah.
And they're left over, and so Zeus had killed this whole tribe, and Ares, because he likes having proteges, lady proteges, saved one, and she was able to turn back and forth between human and hind. Fell in love with Hercules, and there was like a whole thing.
Of course.
Yeah, of course she died. Because you fridged the wife. But she became his real wife.
Interesting.
So someone, I forgot who saved, but someone has saved her blood into like a bottle.
Okay.
And now you have this one leftover thing, that MacGuffin that could kill a god.
From a different TV show.
That's funny. That goes back and forth and was part of Hercules' arc.
Okay.
Also, like, so after Hope...
So that's why Callisto kept saying, like, Hercules told you where it's at. Because I was just like, sure, Xena came from that show, so that makes sense.
Yeah, it's a great explainer line.
Yeah.
Like, but as far as me, I know there's like 6 episodes dealing with that
they
one
mean
line.
the show that just played right before this episode.
Yes. Because they used to play together, so you might as well have sat through them.
And you're like, great, now I know everything.
And the fact that, like, Strife and Discord, like, it felt like those were, like, super fan Easter eggs, like Strife and Discord, which are Ares's... You see Discord in the Britannia episode. She's the one that looks like, kind of like, a bratty teenage Elvira.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's Discord.
That, like, her hair was so bad.
Yeah. She's like a cross between a critter and a Elvira.
I was like, she looks like she's trying to be Xena, but isn't quite there yet.
They probably used a leftover costume.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah, her twin was Strife.
Oh, okay.
And
gotcha.
Ares kind of, he hated and loved them at the same time.
Of course.
Yeah.
I think that's him with all his relationships, right?
Yeah.
It's a mix of love and hate.
Yeah, so like when Callisto, just to test out the dagger to see if it worked, she killed his nephew. That's why he was pissed.
Okay.
Yeah. And Ares trapped her in that thing. No, Hercules. I forgot where that vortex came from, but it was
someone trapped someone else.
Yeah.
That's funny.
And it takes you a while to get out of it. It won't be forever, but if you're a guy, it'll take a minute.
I mean, they live forever, so. So if it's 100 years, it's nothing.
Yeah. I think hope helped too, but whatever.
That was kind of wild. The revelation of, like, Hope growing in some, like, caterpillar type situation.
Yeah.
What is it called?
It was just a cocoon.
Cocoon, yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, that's disgusting.
Yeah.
But that also showed Gabriella's, like, what is she willing to sacrifice? Like, she doesn't want Xena to die, so she's not going to let her kill her daughter. But from Xena's perspective, it looks like, I just don't want you to kill my kid. So that was intense.
Yeah, and that's another weird leftover from the Hercules side. Like, because Hope's in there too. But, like, as just a hooded figure, because she's all burnt. She's all crispy. Okay. So, like, she needed to grow. So I think the tag at the end of one Hercules episode, you see her in that cocoon. Okay. Probably the episode right before this.
Right. That's funny. I was just like, well, I guess she's a grown-up, but in order to, like, get more power or something, she has to be in a cocoon. Yeah. No, she really did die. Technically died. So, and reborn in that cocoon.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So when they cremated her, I guess, like, she didn't really fully disintegrate. It wasn't full ashes, but then I guess they just, I don't know. I mean, Xena and Gabrielle walked away from that situation, so Lord knows they could have just, like, they didn't disintegrate. So, like, and no one's checking up on that situation. No. They wouldn't.
We're not fact checking.
No. And Xena and Gabrielle are too upset to be like, we should spread these ashes across the world so this bitch can't come back. But, like,
and then she came back because they didn't have the foresight. That's funny.
Yeah.
But no, I like that. I like that you could see the fates with the scissors and the thread. I like that. That was cool. Just because, like, we don't get to see them, but we know they're part of this mythology. So I was like, all right, cool.
I like that the fates pop up a lot. What did you think of the Furies?
Were those in the first episode?
The crazy, they were ladies in red.
I don't think I remember them. Okay. I think I just remember the Banshees.
Okay.
Like, there's a lot of ladies. I can't keep track of all their groups.
Strategically cut out costumes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, unless they have different powers, I'm like, I don't know that I can totally separate this group from that group.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Caesar.
Yeah. Carol Urban comes back.
Yes. Chewing on scenery. Sometimes I don't know who I love more.
I liked Pompey's character.
He was so
such
gross.
A backstabber.
He was like a living axe. Yeah. He was a living axe commercial.
Yeah. It was great. I was like, they're like, this is what Romans look like.
Yeah. Kind of. No,
I like that.
Who was the dude? Verkinnis? No, Verkinnis was the dude they were trying to switch out. And that's also a good episode as far as, like, Gabrielle, too. Like, what she's willing to do and, like, where her morals stand.
Yeah, that's true.
Especially now that she's already killed. Is she gonna do this again?
Right. Like, she has the opportunity to harm or save, and for the good of mankind, what is she going to choose? Yeah. Based on her moral.
Especially when she finds out it is true that he was that evil, or, you know, just did not care.
Yeah, that she's wearing his ring at the end, that was cool. I was like, oh. She really did do it. I thought she might not go through with saving Verkinnis at the, what's that guy's name? Did I write it down?
Is it Crassus?
Yeah, Crassus.
Yeah. I was like, I would like to lean on history.
But she also has no proof that Verkinnis' story is true either, so she's just choosing to believe his story.
It just kind of backs up Xena, but at the same time, you don't know, especially in this world, if Xena was like, look, Gabrielle's probably going to ask you this question, just tell her.
That could be. She's like, she's really into, like, feeling good about things, so you have to sell her. That could be.
Yeah. Okay, Loa Ma.
I loved her! She was my favorite character, I think, this season. She was very cool and tough. And I really like seeing that Xena has learned these cool fight techniques or whatever from other women, like the touch thing that she does.
Yeah.
PowerPoint.
Pressure point.
Pressure point. PowerPoint.
Yeah, I forget the girl's name.
The Gaelic woman that she learned it from. I was like, oh, okay, that was cool. And then now that she's learning like mind control and like telekinesis or something from Loa Ma, was this is cool.
Yeah, it was really cool to see, because that lady has a patience and a serenity that I wish to God.
Right? I was like, she's so cool. But I also I thought it was kind of interesting that we're supposed to be learning that Xena has become softer and nicer because of Gabrielle. But really, we're like, actually, is it Loa Ma? Because she has been teaching her this other kind of patience.
Yeah.
Supposedly, this is like back in her story as well.
I think it's more that you see that each one was a puzzle piece. I think Gabrielle was the last piece of the puzzle.
Gotcha.
Gabrielle and Hercules, because this is not even 2 steps back. It feels like it's 12 steps back when she tries to kill the kid.
Feels way back in the past.
Yeah, and the whole situation where Loa Ma is trying to stop her, and she stops her, and then basically exiles her after she tries to kill her son.
Sorry.
After this, but I think it was like all in puzzle pieces, and this is a turning point that Xena, which she does say, I didn't realize until later on, when she had met Gabrielle, that could have been a turning point for me.
Gotcha.
Instead, she just, like I said, especially now that she was healed, she just left with Pariahs, and they went on this whole other spree, and then eventually had a kid.
The transition to that episode was also they're like, we just need a sentence. That someone was like, the green dragon must die or whatever, and I was like, that's all you're giving us to jump to this completely different timeline?
Yeah. And the fact that they don't really too much deal with Xena's guilt of having created this kid. She scarred this kid so much.
Yeah. She's just like, guess I'll kill him.
Yeah, clean up after yourself. Anything else?
I don't. Oh, only one more thing. My favorite episode from the season was the one with Aphrodite and the star.
Yeah.
Because Jaxer being an ape was hilarious to me. Gabrielle being so in love with her own image also cracked me up. And that Xena somehow was still thwarting enemies while being obsessed with fish.
Yes.
I was like, this is hysterical and totally nonsensical, but it was like good comedic relief for how serious things were getting.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, this is a good throwaway episode. I like it.
Yeah, I feel like all the day in any series, like my favorite tropes, or rather like TV tropes when seasons were longer, or day in the life episodes, where it's just regular days in the life. You get more of that in Hercules, like as the seasons go on, and I think Kevin Sorbo was less and less interested.
Right, so he's just like, whatever.
To the point that there's one complete episode played by all the actors in the writer's room.
Really?
Like Kevin
That's
Sorbo,
funny.
The premise is like Kevin Sorbo is going missing, and so they bring in people from Xena. So you have in one episode, which I hope I can track down. Maybe I'll send you the link.
Okay.
You have, I believe, Bruce Campbell.
Wow.
And then you have Joxer. Then you have like Callisto, and they're all stuck. Maybe Carl Urban shows up. I'm not sure. Ares for sure shows up, but as
he has to.
But as Ares, the god of war.
Oh, interesting. So some of them are like them as real people versus them as a character.
Yeah.
Wow.
So you're talking about crazy.
Yeah, that sounds insane.
But it's one of my favorite episodes because they are stuck
inside
this room.
Wow.
And essentially, Hudson Leak is Callisto, but as a female executive.
Interesting. That would be hard to imagine Callisto as a female executive. I mean, I guess she's like any executive, kind of cruel.
Yeah.
So maybe it works.
But it does work, and it's one of those I just thoroughly enjoy silliness like this.
Yeah.
That is taken.
I think that's why the musical disturbed me, is because it was silliness but also really serious. And I don't, my mind was just like, I don't like this discord between how serious it could have been had it not been a musical, and how silly it feels to me. Yeah. But the ones that are pure silly, like this 18th episode, I was like, this is peak.
Yes.
Xena.
Yes, it is.